As a soldier and messenger of the Lord of the Galaxies, I say greetings. The Greek philosopher Socrates is alleged to have said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." Well, I have to disagree with this, for we do know a few things. My fellow proponent of intelligent design, Albert Einstein, disagrees as well. Here are his words. We still do not know 1,000th of 1% of what nature has revealed to us. Now this I do agree with. Let us now address this Big Bang mythology and intelligent design. Intelligent design infers that the universe was conceived and created by a supreme intelligence. Logic and reason concludes that this intelligence is not made of atoms, for he was in existence before and the creator of atoms. Consequently, the realm that he exists within is incomprehensible to a mere human being and beyond the scope of the physical cosmos. Atheist scientist Richard Dawkins recently stated that an alien life form could be the designer. However, this is utterly absurd for the simple fact that alien beings throughout the galaxies are made of atoms, as are their spacecraft and the planets which they live upon. Hence, the intelligent designer would have to be a non-physical or non-atom comprised being. The intelligent design terminology was first written in 1847 in an issue of the Scientific American magazine. However, despite the manifest logic of this concept, most in the scientific world today cling to the utterly asinine or ridiculous theory of the Big Bang for the creation of the universe. The premise of this illogical theory is that the universe began with the explosion of a single atom, which hurled matter in all directions. This theory was first relayed in 1927 by a Belgian pseudo-priest named Georges Lemaitre. Well, since the very foundation of science is alleged to be cause and effect, Lemaitre would have you believe that the atom created itself, then detonated itself. This absurd notion from Lemaitre is mythology, nothing more. He had no absolute knowledge of how, why, nor when the universe was created. And since scientists do not and never will possess the knowledge of the creation of the universe, reasoning and common sense must be incorporated to evoke a rational conclusion. The following verses from the scriptures of the creator and governor of the universe should suffice as the most reasonable conclusion. Holy Qur'an, Surah 35, verse 1. Praise be to Allah, the originator of the heavens and the earth, the maker of the angels, messengers flying on wings 2 and 3 and 4. He increases in creation what he pleases. Surely Allah is possessor of power over all things. Bible, Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Bible, Isaiah 45, verse 18. For thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, God himself that formed the earth, and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else. As you can see, Lemaitrie's big noise or Big Bang mythology is in gargantuan opposition to the decrees of the Lord. Lemaitrie's preposterous notion that an atom simply decided to make itself explode in order to transform itself into the entire universe is completely illogical. Here is reason or common sense. Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The word cause. 1a, a reason for an action or condition. Motive, something that brings about an effect or a result. A person or thing that is the occasion of an action or state, especially an agent that brings something about. The word effect. 2, something that inevitably follows an antecedent as a cause or agent. 3, an outward sign, appearance. The word law, 1a, 1, a binding custom or practice of a community, a rule of conduct or action prescribed or formally recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority. Yeah. In light of these definitions, the Big Bang mythology is ridiculous. There is no effect without a cause, and no law and order without a governor or controlling authority. Consequently, these two questions arise from Lemaitrie's theory. Who created the atom, and what caused Lemaitrie's atom to explode? Of course, these questions cannot be answered by any human earth mortal, regardless of the number of degrees or certificates that they have attained from alleged institutions of higher learning or maleducation. Yeah, if Lemaitre and the rest of his scientific comrades were not physically present to witness any event at the beginning of the universe, they can relay only conjecture or mythology, period. Since we are on the subject of atoms, here is the Holy Quran. Holy Quran, Surah 10, verse 61. And thou art not engaged in any affair, and thou reciteth not concerning it any portion of the Quran, and you do no work, but we are witness of you when you are engaged therein, and not the weight of an atom in the earth or in the heaven is hidden from thy Lord, nor anything less than that, nor greater, but it is all in a clear book. Holy Quran, Surah 34, verse 3. And those who disbelieve say, the hour will never come to us. Say, yeah, by my Lord, the knower of the unseen, it will certainly come to you. Not an atom's weight escapes him in the heavens or in the earth, nor is there less than that, nor greater, but all is in a clear book. Yeah, historians would have you believe that the ancient Greek philosophers Leucippus and his student Democritus were the founding fathers of atomism, or the theory regarding indivisible atoms, in the early 400s BC or BCE. However, they conveniently omit or disregard the ancient Indian philosopher and sage Acharya Kanada, who predated both of the aforementioned Greek philosophers by approximately 200 years in the 6th century BC as the founder of atomism. He is the author of the ancient Hindu text, the Vaisheshik Darshana. Within his text, Kanada relayed that atoms comprise everything in the physical universe, and that they can be synthesized or combined to create molecules. This is profound indeed. Historians of this physical matrix would also have you believe that the English scientist John Dalton was the first to reveal, in 1803, that atoms have weights, and British scientist Joseph John Thomson was the first to reveal, in 1897, that atoms are comprised of smaller particles called electrons. However, the Holy Qur'an relayed information regarding atoms and subatomic particles in the preceding verses, some 1,400 years ago. Surah 10, verse 61 again, and not the weight of an atom in the earth or in the heaven is hidden from thy Lord, nor anything less than that, nor greater. It would seem that Dalton and J.J. Thomson had read the Holy Qur'an of some 1,400 years ago. The context of the Lord's revelation is regarding the atoms, including subatomic particles, of the earth and the universe, or heavens, not simply confined to the earth, as some translators of the Holy Qur'an ignorantly propose. Let us now venture into the realm of common sense or reason once again. Since there is a universe or multiverse in existence, planets, stars, black holes, and so on, that no human earth mortal could possibly create, fashion, sustain, or control, then the reasoning of the scriptures of the Lord of the cosmos provide us the best explanation for his creation of the heavens and the earth. Here are a few common sense examples. Holy Quran, Surah 3, verse 190. In the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of the night and the day, there are surely signs for men of understanding. 191. Those who remember Allah, standing and sitting, and lying on their sides, and reflect on the creation of the heavens and the earth. Our Lord, thou hast not created this in vain. Glory be to thee. Save us from the chastisement of the fire. Holy Quran, Surah 13, verse 2. Allah is he who raised the heavens without any pillars that you can see, and he is established on the throne of power. And he made the sun and the moon subservient to you. Each one runs to an appointed term. He regulates the affair, making clear the messages that you may be certain of the meeting with your Lord. And he it is who spread the earth and made in it firm mountains and rivers, and of all fruits he has made in it pears, two of every kind. He makes the night to cover the day. Surely there are signs in this for a people who reflect. Bible, Genesis 1, verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. These declarations from the Lord of the galaxies give religious believers the best counter-arguments, law and governance, against the Big Bang mythology. Yeah, since most humans of sanity know that planets, stars, the sun, and so on do not possess brains or the ability to think, common sense or reason informs those of sanity that some being of supreme power and intelligence beyond the abilities and comprehension of mere human earth mortals must have created laws for the universe and is governing or regulating these laws that maintain order throughout the cosmos. Bible, Genesis 1, verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. 16, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. 17, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. 18, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. As is clear, the alternation of night and day, perpetual rotation of the earth, is governed or controlled by a being of supreme intelligence. Holy Qur'an, Surah 67, verse 1. Blessed is he in whose hand is the kingdom, and he is possessor of power over all things. 2. Who created death and life, that he might try you, which of you is best in deeds. And he is the mighty, the forgiving. 3. Who created the seven heavens alike. Thou seest no incongruity in the creation of the beneficent. Then look again. Canst thou see any disorder? 4. Then turn the eye again and again. Thy look will return to thee confused, while it is fatigued. Bible, Job 22, verse 12. Is not God in the height of the heaven, and beyond the height of the stars? How high they are. Bible, Psalm 8, verse 3. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. 4. What is man, that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man, that thou visiteth him? Bible, Jeremiah 31, verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Holy Qur'an, Surah 36, verse 36. Glory be to him who created pairs of all things, of what the earth grows, and of their kind, and of what they know not. 37. And a sign to them is the night, We draw forth from it the day. Then lo, they are in darkness. 38. And the sun moves on to its destination. That is the ordinance of the mighty, the Noah. 39. And the moon we have ordained for its stages, till it becomes again as an old dry palm branch. 40. Neither is it for the sun to overtake the moon, nor can the night outstrip the day, and all float on in an orbit. Yeah. Since the earth has not crashed into Mars, Pluto hasn't slammed into Venus, nor has the sun become a gargantuan ice cube. We are forced to address the questions posed by the Lord in verse 3 of Surah 67. Canst thou see any disorder? My answer, nay. The believer sees no disorder, O Lord. Mashallah. It is the will of God or Allah. In closing, laws do not create themselves. Minds possessing intelligence create them. So there is no such foolishness as a law of physics, a law of gravity, law of nature, and so on. Governance and enforcement of laws is accomplished by minds possessing intelligence. No law governs or enforces itself whatsoever. This notion is merely infantile human obstinance to your Creator, who lives in the realm unseen indeed. Alhamdulillah. There is still a short time to suppress your infantile human egos and bow in submission to the Lord of the galaxies. Time is running out, however. Mashallah.